So I bought a 20-ton short body ram from Harbor Freight, and after reading the reviews I came to the conclusion that people don't know how to use a short body ram. So I want to make a quick video to show you how I use a short body ram. A short body ram is not a jack. It's not for lifting up your car. The travel is about 1/2 inch on the cylinder. But what I have to do is level this container because the doors aren't closing properly. I can't get a 20-ton forklift back here because it's up against a wall. So in order to lift this, I've got to get a very short jack. And the problem with a short jack is that it doesn't have a lot of travel. It doesn't have a 4-foot ram in here to rise up. So what you do, you get your pump and you set your ram in there, your very short ram, and you see I've got about 1/2 inch of travel in there I need to compensate for. So what I did was I bought some, let me rephrase that, I found some plate steel, a little less than a 1/4 inch plate steel, and I can use it as wedges to get the ram just into the forklift hole. And I'll probably want to use one more and get that into the forklift hole so that I can close off the valve and very easily, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 pumps, I can raise up the ram to its full extended distance and get one sheet of steel into that into the underside of that container. And there it is. That's just one sheet of steel under there. I'll release it and get the ram out of there. Compress it manually. Get the next sheet in there because I've only got less than 1/2 inch of travel on this ram. I'm going to set that ram in on this side because I've got a little bit of a angle here I've got to defeat. So I'm going to put the ram in on this shorter side, close off my valve, and pump again. That's my full travel right there. So I'm going to try to get a sheet under this side. And there, look, I've got a sheet under this side now. Now I can release the ram, get the jack out of there, and put another piece under the jack to lift it up a little bit higher. So press the ram, put it in there, close off the valve, and jack it up a little bit more. It might take you 1/2 hour to do it, but eventually you're going to get this up to the height you need, but you're going to do it about 1/4 inch at a time. So open the valve, let it settle on these plates, take it out, put in another plate, brush the ram down, and put it in there again. Close the valve, pump it up. Once it stops, get another piece in there because you're only going up 1/4 inch at a time. Drop open the valve, drop the ram, get another piece of material in there. Shorten it, put it in there, close the valve, and again. And it's going to take you 1/2 hour, but that's the purpose of the short ram, is to move really heavy things. This is a loaded container that I'm leveling right now, and it moves really heavy things. Takes you some time, but if you don't have a 20-ton forklift, or you can't get your forklift into position to lift your container, that's what you do. Some people use these for automotive, bending material, but once again, it's not a jack for jacking up your car. It has less than 1 inch of travel, but if you use it correctly, I'm not even working hard to pump this up. There's almost no pressure to lifting up this huge container. Then lower it, get the ram out, put in another piece of material. If you have a short attention span, you probably want to fast forward, but this is what you do. Put it in, close the valve, ram up again. Quarter-inch piece of material, lower it, get the ram out, compress it, put in your next piece of material, raising your ram up. Close the valve and pump again. Be able to get a piece of material under the other foot, release it, get the ram out, put in another piece of material, compress your ram, and put it in. Close your valve, ram up. Through this, we've raised it about 2 inches. There's a piece of material. I'm going to lower the ram, get the ram out, compress the ram, and put in your next piece of material. So yeah, I got these for free, basically out of the recycling at a scrapyard, and the guys were happy to get rid of them. Put it in there, close the valve, pump it up, another piece of material, lower the ram, get the ram out, compress it, put in your next piece of material, ram back in, close the valve, open the valve, get the ram out. So it's a lot of work, but it's incremental. You get the job done with this little tiny ram for about 60 bucks, I think it was. And otherwise, you don't have to hire a giant crane to come in and lift your container for you. Lower it. Get the ram out, compress it. New piece of material, and put the ram back in. Close the valve. And another piece of material. Lower it. I think I've got one more piece to get this level. Ram back in, close off the valve, and pump it up again. So the ram's in there. I'm going to get now a block of wood. This block of wood actually need about another quarter inch to go. So I'm going to put in a piece of material here, lower the ram, get the ram out, and one more piece of material here, compress the ram, get it back inside, and we'll close the valve and we'll pump it up. Now we'll get rid of all this material. I'll drop this piece of wood in here that I wanted because I don't want to leave my iron outside. There's that. Lower the ram. And get the jack out. Get all my material out. And now my container is basically level with that additional piece of lumber in there. But that is how you use a ram. Once again, it is not a jack, it's a ram, and it works really well.